This is my garage.
How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another My Garage tutorial video. So I am FUNCLE, and today we are going to be having a look around the little map, which is just a small island, guys. So this is going to be just a tutorial of the small island where you start off your journey in My Garage. So there are two maps inside the shop over here, but as you can see, they are not as detailed. So what we are going to do is we are going to hit our M button, which is going to open up the map for us. So this map is actually a lot more detailed, and it gives you a lot more information about the various places in your area. So yes, we'll get into the other places a little bit later on, guys, because this map is actually quite extensive. So yes, we'll get into that in another video. So today we are just going to focus on the little island, or what I would like to call the small island or starter island, guys. So yes, first of all, here we are right in front of our garage, and across the road from us we have got the gas station. So yes, as you can see, we've got a vehicle parked over there, and we also have got our old trusty Wolf here, which is a diesel powered vehicle. So depending on which vehicle you have, or rather what engine you have in your vehicle, you need to be sure to put the correct gasoline or fuel in your vehicle. Otherwise, yeah, it's not going to work out so well. So yes, guys, let's quickly have a look at how this works. So first of all, you need to locate the fuel filler cap on your vehicle. So all vehicles have them in their respectable places. And now what you're going to do is you're going to come over to the fuel pistol. You're going to right click onto it once. And the easiest way to do this is to try and line up the nozzle, not the center of the screen, but the nozzle with the filler cap, and then just hit your left mouse button. Now, weird things like this would happen. You will open up your trunk probably, but once you get the filling in the middle of the screen, then you will see, well, the lower middle of your screen, guys, you will see that the car is being filled with gasoline. So that is a good thing, and we are not spilling fuel on the floor. So we're just going to continue and fill this thing up until it starts flashing. It shouldn't take too long, but yes, we did choose a little bit of a bigger vehicle this time around for the tutorial. But yes, there we go. The filling started flashing, so we know we are golden, guys. So that thing is all filled up now. We'll just get our fuel filler cap back on. And yes, guys, the next place we're going to go and have a look at will be Steve's Pawn Shop, which is just a little bit down the way. So I'm going to take you guys for a bit of a drive. So we're going to jump into this orange Chad. We're going to fire it up, and you'll also notice if you have a look at your fuel gauge, it is working, and it does show that the tank is full. Yeah, let's get ourselves seated by hitting enter. We're gonna take off the handbrake and just make sure we fire this thing up, and there we go, guys. So we are ready to head off. Alright, so luckily Steve's Pawn Shop is not too far. So you just need to follow the road down here over to the dock area. And there we go. Alright, so you'll turn in here. Alright, so here we are. This is in fact Steve's Pawn Shop. So the operating hours for this place is 8 to 12, if I'm not mistaken. No, yeah, 8 to 12, so I'm correct in that. So yes, over here, guys, you can sell all of your unwanted parts, and yeah, even body parts, anything that you really don't want to have anymore. And yeah, this guy will talk to you. He is voiced by the famous YouTuber known as Scapegoat, guys. So there we go. As you can see, I popped these things in my backpack, which makes it a little bit easier to carry stuff around with. So yes, if you guys don't know how to operate the backpack, you usually open it with tab, but you could also assign the keys to whichever keys you would prefer. So yes, guys, there we go. That is the little pawn shop down at the docks. So next up, we're going to make our way over to the used car dealership, which is also not too far from here, luckily. So we're just going to navigate our way over there by going back out of the dock area. Alright, so you can see the used car dealership right over there. So we're just going to make our way to the upper part of here. Make sure you approach it from the right side. There we go. Alright, so this is the used car dealership, guys. So you would usually come here on foot, because the chances are that you are going to find something that you would like to buy. So all you need to do is just walk up to the building and be sure that you are within the opening times of this place. This place is open from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m., which means, yeah, you've got quite a lot of time to pick a vehicle from here. So it's going to take a little bit of time to load, and then I'll bring you guys back once it's loaded up and we can have a look at what they've got here. Okay guys, so the dealership is busy loading in and it takes a little bit of time, but yes, there we go. Okay, the third vehicle has loaded in for us. So yes, what we have now is 3 vehicles available for purchase. So we've got a Chad over here, and as you approach the vehicles, you might sense a little bit of lag spikes. That's just the game loading in the parts of the vehicle. So yes, as you can see, we've got a Chad, which has got an inline 6 in it. You can also review the information of the vehicle just by hitting I close to it. It'll give you the price of the vehicle and all the condition stars, which you'll need to try and max out if you are going for a full restoration. And we've also got a little wagon over here, a Lada wagon or a lad wagon. And then over here we've got the Chad with another inline 6 again. So yes guys, that is basically how the used car dealership works. So yes, let's move over to the next place, which would be the little shop over there, which is actually very important if you are looking to buy some tools. So today we are going to demonstrate a very important piece of, not really a tool that you could buy, but it's more like something that's going to help you manage your tools a bit better. So yes guys, this is also the place where you can buy yourself a trailer if you are interested in towing a trailer behind your vehicle, but that would require a trailer hook, which we will get into in another video guys. But yes, as you can see, there are the trailers, and there are some boxes that you can also buy for them in case you wanted to have it enclosed. So yes, let's step inside the shop over here. Alright, so we're going to open the doors just by left clicking on them. I'm going to step inside, and
did you notice your socks aren't matching?
And yes, this guy will always talk to you. He's always got a couple of jokes. So yeah, looks like we did buy ourselves a 14-inch tire at some point, opening and closing the door in the save. But yes guys, that's not what it's all about. So we are here to see what the shop has got. So obviously you can see they've got various different tires over here, different sizes. So depending on what size rim your vehicle is equipped with, or whatever you choose to put on your car, you'll have to just buy the correct size. So yes, that is the first part, getting the tires, and the second part would be to get yourself some new rims. So yes, if you hover over them, it will tell you the price of them and also what size they are. And do note that you do get 4 lug wheels and also 5 lug wheels. So make sure that the vehicle you are working on, that you have got the right, for example, the Chad over here has got 5 lugs. So the little Lada wagon we saw earlier, that has got 4 lugs. So just be sure to buy the right wheels, unless if you wanted to do a wheel hub conversion, which is also possible. So yes, over here you've got license plates, which we can change the name on it. So you can just click on the different numbers in order to change it. So that is how that works. And over here on this side, you'll see we've got some bike stands. We've got some engine stands for the bike engine. We've got another engine stand if you want to get some more of those, but you do start off with one in your starter garage. We've got the sandblaster with the bags of sand that actually goes into it. And then we've got the air pump right over there on the wall. So on top of the shelf over here, we've got a couple of colors of paint, spray cans, which you can buy. So you can also buy them from the catalog, depending on what your color code is of your vehicle. You can buy a new stereo for your interior, some headlight bulbs, some regular light bulbs, some regular spark plugs, and also the high performance spark plugs are available here. We also have got a battery if you don't want to buy it from the catalog. And I do want to just point out that all of these things, with the exception of the stereo, are also available in the catalog on this shelf level over here. So on this level, you can find yourself some cutting discs, some electrodes for your little welding machine down there, but you do start off with 1 box of those and this welder. You also start with a rust removal disc. We've got some body filler to take out some dents on the vehicles, some oil, which is very important for your engine, as well as some coolant. And then if you would like to have brakes in your vehicle, you need to fill up the brake fluid. So down here, we've got the decal box. So there are some decals available in the base game, but you can also add some of your own. there are actually some instructions on the box. So if we go ahead and buy one of these, it will give you a little bit of instructions on how you can add your own decals. So we just gotta, there it is. Add your decals in save directory /decals folder, guys. So that is how you're going to do that if you wanted to add your own decals. So over here we've got the basic tools like the hammer, the screwdriver, the pry tool, the spring compressor, the socket wrench for the spark plugs. And we've got 3 different types of wrenches, one with a blue handle, one with a red handle, and also just the basic chrome wrench, which we start off with. As I mentioned earlier, we've got the welding machine down here, and we've got the angle grinder. So that is mostly used with the rust removal disc or the cutting discs. If you want to maybe cut panels off your vehicle, that is the tool to use, but then you'll need the cutting discs. And if you want to try and remove the rust with the angle grinder, you can use the rust removal disc. So yes, alternatively, you could buy yourself the sandblaster, which will make the job a little bit easier, but you'll definitely have to buy a lot of sandbags and obviously purchase the sandblaster itself, which is a lot more expensive than the angle grinder. But yes, guys, moving along, we have got the winch, which actually fits onto the car trailer parked outside. If you would like to winch your vehicles up onto the trailer, if they are not running vehicles. Next to that, we've got the little funnel, which has been implemented in the game, although it's not entirely necessary. But you can go ahead and use the funnel, which will just make your life a little bit easier if you struggle to aim while pouring your fluids into your vehicle. And then on the shelf below that, we've got the tint removal tool, which is a little scraper that you can use to remove tint from your windows if you no longer want to tint on it. And there are 4 different types of tint. So tint number 1 being the lightest tint, and then tint number 4 being the darkest tint. And down here, we've got a flashlight. We also have got the builder's torch, which will give you a little bit more light in your shop if it's a bit too dark. And if you are maybe going out to various places at night, scouring for some vehicles that are abandoned, you might use one of these in order to see a bit better. But you do come with a little bit of a headlamp on your forehead. If you hit T, you will be able to turn that on and off. And then next to that, guys, we've got the little move tool, which will mostly be used for moving furniture around, such as your dustbin, your tables, your lifts, stuff like that. You could move with that. And next to that, we've got a little tow strap, which I've not really used much, but you can actually tow another vehicle with this. But it is not really recommended because it's mostly for trying to get your vehicle out of sticky situations, not really for towing the vehicle from the junkyard back to the house, guys. So I would recommend you use it only if your vehicle is stuck and you want to tow it out with another vehicle. And over there, we've got the small jack, which is the one that we actually start off with in the game. So it's not very useful, in my opinion, but it does get you out of a sticky situation if it's the only thing you have. And then next to that, we've got a box of garbage bags, which we could buy. I'm just going to demonstrate this, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick up the box with right click, and we're going to left click once, which is going to give us a trash bag. So this trash bag can be used to just get rid of anything that you don't really want anymore. So this is basically the same as dumping the stuff in a trash can, which you've also got a little trash bin over there. So we can go ahead and just pop that into there, and it'll get rid of the trash bag for you. So yes, guys, this is what we are going to be taking back to our shop. But I just wanted to quickly show you guys the rest of the stuff that is available over here. So we've got some jerry cans. So there's a green one and a red one. So they both hold 20 liters of fuel. And there are just 2 different colors in order so that you can maybe put diesel in the one and gasoline in the other, and just differentiate the 2. Then we've got some toolboxes. So this one over here is not very good, and neither is that one. So I would recommend getting this one because it's a little bit cheaper than the other 2, and it's a lot more functionable in my opinion. So we are going to take this with us once we leave here. And then we also have got some jack stands. So the heavy duty ones are more meant for the B200 pickup truck, which is definitely, yeah, the vehicle to get if you are looking to haul some parts up and down. And then we've got the smaller one, which is the little jack stand for just normal cars like our Chad over there. Would be good to lift it up with this. But in order to do that, I would suggest you jack your vehicle up with either that little jack over there or the floor jack over here, which is probably the most, best type of floor jack to use in the game. And then over on the wall here, guys, we've got some wheel spacers. So depending on what size you want to go with, there are a couple of options over here if you want to kick those rims out a bit. And this little back room over here, we've got our chroming station. So it'll show you the prices for engine parts and also for other parts. So you just simply drop them on the pallet and they will be chromed. So now some parts like the tires and obvious parts that you don't really want to have chromed, guys, you can't chrome them. So yeah, it kind of makes sense. So yes, now before we head back to the garage, I quickly want to pop this into the trunk of our Chad over here, just to show you guys that it is functionable. You can actually load stuff in the trunk of vehicles and they do stick to the vehicles. So yeah, no worries about losing your stuff on the way back from the junkyard. So yes, there we go, guys. And for those of you who would like to know, there are different cameras. So you can cycle through them, numeric buttons, number 1, number 2, number 3, which gives you a mobile camera, which you can move with your mouse. Number 4 is kind of this static camera, so it'll just stay in one place and then your vehicle can move further away from you. And then we also have got, that is basically it, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So depending on what you would like to utilize, they are available. So yeah, this makes backing into the shop a little bit easier if you can actually see what you are doing. I personally like this third camera, which will give you a little bit more control of which way you are going to look and see where you're going. So yes, let's get back to the shop, guys. So I want to quickly show you guys one more thing, and that is going to be the barn where you can save and unload your vehicles. So if you come up to the barn with a vehicle, for example the Chad over here, now we can go and open the barn and you can actually select different save slots. So depending on what number you save your vehicle in, that is going to be the file that you can actually send to other players if you wanted to do some trading. So yes, let's get this barn open. Alright, and we're going to pull the Chad over here into the barn so that I can show you what is cooking. Alright, so handbrake up and we're just going to pull it into the shop. Stop it right over there. Okay, gonna hop out. And as you can see, we still got the stuff in the trunk of the vehicle, guys. So yeah, we're going to save the barn and save the game. Just give it a second to do this. Alright, so there we go. The game has saved and we've now got our Chad in barn 0. But now if you do a little bit of a head bop, you'll see that the toolbox and the trash bags that we actually had in the trunk of the car didn't save. So that is because tools and furniture do not unload in the barn, guys. You can read it right over there on the warning sign. So just be mindful of that if you are using the barns. So yes, let's get this barn open again. And there we go. As you can see, the barn is now open again. And the toolbox with the garbage bags that we had here are still in the barn, but it's, well, basically outside of the vehicle because it didn't save inside the vehicle. So if you had other parts in the trunk of the vehicle and you save the game, it will probably stay there, but sometimes they do also sneak through. So yes, that is just one more thing that I wanted to show you guys. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to grab our backpack, we're going to pick this up, and unfortunately the toolbox, certain parts can't go in your backpack, so you'll have to see what actually fits and what doesn't. So yes, now this is a very handy little toolbox, guys. So all of the tools we've got on the table here would be able to go inside here. So we're just going to go ahead and pop them all in. So you right click on your tool, and sometimes this happens, you drop a tool. But yeah, once you get the check mark, you can just right click on the toolbox again and it'll go into the toolbox. So yes, very nice and handy little toolbox this, which is something you can now grab and take all of your tools with you wherever you decide to go with them. So for this next part of the journey, we are going to head over to the junkyard. It's going to be a little bit of a drive, so I might do this little bit sped up so that we can get there, but I also wanted to show you guys the route that I'm taking to the junkyard. Okay guys, so let's do this. We are going to get into our Wolf sedan over here. We're just going to open up the door, going to hop in, and note this vehicle is diesel powered, so you've got some glow plugs, so the glow plug light will always show up over there on the dashboard, and then you just continue cranking it and it'll start up a lot easier. So yes, you can get your handbrake off over there as usual, and we'll get ourselves seated in the vehicle and we are ready to head off. So yes, cool features in the Wolf. It's got electric windows, so you can open all the windows if you really like. So let's go ahead and open the 2 front windows, and we are going to be taking this cruise over there in 3rd person. So let's take a little bit of a drive. So we're going to go down here and just follow this route, but I will speed up this process for you guys so that you can see exactly where I'm going. Alright, so that is how you get over to the junkyard, and we're just going to park up here. So do note your vehicle will get dirty if you drive it on the gravel roads around the map. So yes, unfortunately, this is our pride and joy and it is getting a little bit of dirt on it now, but there is a fix for this. I will show you guys that in another video when we do part 2 of all the locations. So let's quickly have a look at the junkyard over here. So this is very much the same as the used car dealership. The only difference is here, if you hit your escape button, you can actually adjust your junkyard size, which will, change the load times of the game. So we're just going to set it for this tutorial to 1 vehicle to spawn, so that it goes a little bit quicker. So let's enter the junkyard, and once again, it will start loading. So let's bring you guys back once this is loaded. Alright, so there we go. The junkyard has loaded, and now we are free to walk inside. So I would suggest bringing your toolbox here, because you can also strip parts of vehicles if you do want to buy something specific for your vehicle you're working on. And as you can see, we have got quite a bit of parts in the junkyard, and depending on what you are looking for, you might find exactly what you need. So if you had a lad and you were working on a lad, you might want to buy yourself a rear left door. So there we go. So do note there are also some very bad condition parts in here. So you can clearly see this alternator over here is a bit busted. So it's not always ideal coming to the junkyard, because you might end up buying something that might not be working. So as you can see, we have got our 1 vehicle that has spawned in. So this is one of the recent vehicles in the game. It's known as the Rat, and this is the compact version. So if you go ahead and have a look at that, there we go. So if you are interested in buying the vehicle, you could buy it for that price. But yes, as I said, this is the junkyard, guys, and this is where you're going to find all used parts in the game, which might be a little bit handy if you are working on a budget and really want to try and get a car running from, used parts. But yes, guys, I think that is going to be it for this tutorial video. So thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate every view, every like. And also, if you would like to see more tutorial content, please hit that subscribe button. And then I will see you all in the next one.
My garage. Wheels keep spinning on the highway. Good things happen in the driveway. Having good days with the good boys. I don't think that I'm leaving today.